Imagine something terrible happening to you in your childhood, so terrible that as an adult, you have to work really hard just to be stable and survive. And yet, the person who you're living with keeps asking you, why do you spend so much money on therapy? Why are you taking this medication? Why aren't you fixed yet? And she won't respect the boundary of, I don't want to talk about this with you. Here's today's story. So we have a community member who wrote in, shared their terrible, painful childhood with us. Like, so honored that you felt like you could trust us with that. Absolutely, like, should not have happened to this kid. Now, as an adult, they have done the work to build a stable life. But in this, it requires lots of therapy throughout the week, medication, meeting with doctors, and just finding a work environment that isn't activating. And she's done all that. It's incredible. So she has this system that really supports her, but she's also living with a sibling who doesn't know what happened to her as a child. She doesn't want to share this with her sister, and she's very critical of all the steps she needs to do to take care of herself. Constantly asking her, why are you spending money on that? Why are you taking this medicine? Why aren't you fixed yet? If this is so good, why aren't you better? All that stuff. And she's requested, hey, please don't talk about this. Don't ask me these questions. I don't want to talk about it. But the sister will not respect her at all, and she continues to poke and pry. Now, the listener has a long-term boyfriend. They've been together for a long time. They love each other, but he lives an hour and a half away, and it's terrifying thinking about moving that far away from her support system that she's built now. She's got, her job is like minutes away. Her medicine doctor is right there. All of her support, like her therapy support, is right there. And so it's a very scary thing. So instead of moving, which she has thought about, she's more thinking about, like, how can I communicate this boundary where it actually sticks? Like, what am I doing wrong? First and foremost, I'm so sorry with what happened to you as a child. I'm not going to share that on here because it just doesn't need to be shared. You guys can just use your imagination. Things that should never happen to a child have happened to her. And so I'm very sorry. Second, you have communicated your boundary. That's a request. Now we need to take action. And this will only work for so long before you might have to create some distance and move out. But for right now, you're not ready for that step. So when your sister brings up anything that you've told her is off limits, like a topic, you would just say, all right, I'm not going to talk about this, so I'm going to go for a walk. Okay, so I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom. Like, I'm basically going to remove myself from the conversation every single time she brings it up to show her that it's not going to be a fruitful quest. The second thing, if distance does become like the next best option, you might consider talking to your boyfriend about meeting in the middle, because then you're only 45 minutes away from your support system. Just a thought.